when you run. You can say what you say, dancing the masquerade. Still the blood drips steady as rain. There's a light in the center, but the shell is opaque. There's a smile upon your face, but I know that it's fake.
Hello.
You can run all you like, there is nowhere to hide, and the road keeps going.
Hello! How's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody doing this evening? We're gonna be doing some Malys today. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello! We're going to be playing some Malys tonight. For those of you who aren't familiar or haven't seen us play this before, Malys is a deck builder, a roguelike deck builder, focused around the story of an exorcist who has decided to go after some great evil hidden deep in the city.
You can say what you say, dancing the masquerade.
So as he goes, he's got to face a bunch of problems over and over again until he can defeat them. And so do we. As ever, let me know if anything is going wrong with the stream. And beyond that, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the game. Please enjoy. At the end of the last night we were playing this, we managed to beat the first act. So now we're going into the second act. And it looks like we've put a lot of effort into making a defensive, like, what is called in this game Silvered, what everybody's probably more familiar with as Thorn's deck. I assume some number of you guys have played Slay the Spire. But first things first, we need to figure out what kind of path we're taking here. I don't love quite how many greater demons are on this path. Or unavoidably on this path. I do like that it gives us a potential an upgrade opportunity early. How does this way compare? Ooh, that's maybe too few greater demons. Is this way the only way to go for any regular amount of demons? I guess if we don't want to go for greater demons, I can take one of these two and end up with only 3. In which case, we are going to go with... Let's try the event. We've not seen a good one yet, but I feel like there's gotta be some that are positive, right? I roamed through the city streets, unsure of everything, but the idea that I'd know that what I truly needed when I stumbled across it. Some might call that faith. I call it the result of poor planning. I received offers from the occasional local. Come to their shop not far away, they said, or how about a little something to take the edge off? I refused each one. The hollow, furtive looks in their eyes told me that's for the best. It wasn't long before I took into a part of the city that felt even more lonely, if that's possible, where the shadows stretched further, reached out with grasping arms. And that's where I received yet another insincere offer. A good time made by a young woman in cracked makeup, wearing far too little for the chill in the air. Her teeth chattered as she attempted and failed, something approaching a friendly smile. She knew a motel. Cheap. Quick. I almost turned her down flat when I saw her eyes. They were dim and hopeless, crushed by a life she never wanted but couldn't escape. Come with me, I said. I didn't go to her hotel. Instead, I brought her to an old-style coffee diner. Nobody else was inside, save the grizzled owner, whose alarmed look I waved aside. When I motioned to a table, she suddenly grew suspicious. Hey, she protested, albeit feebly. I don't know what you're on about, but my time ain't free and it ain't cheap. I know. She reluctantly sat, and we shared a meal. On me. She warmed her hands on the coffee cup and bit into the juicy burger like she hadn't eaten in days. Her suspicions slowly melted, and we talked, haltingly at first, but then like old friends. I'm not much for chat, but she ate it up more hungrily than she did the burger. Her name's Nora, I learned. She wanted to be a stewardess. She was a kid. I didn't ask for anything from her. When we parted, she smiled once, for real, and the grasping shadows leave her be. Yo! Give me the money. Oh, I didn't heal up when we went into the new chapter. That's horrifying to know. Sometimes luck is a demon. It gets inside you, gives you hope. Hope that it will stay and keep you afloat, only to run out on you and never come back. Stop that man! The inconvenience store clerk yelled, but ultimately in vain as that man pushed past me on the street, his arms stuffed full with rolls of lottery tickets. Errant tickets flapped away in the wind as the thief rounded the corner and was quickly out of sight. The panting clerk bent over to catch her breath next to me. Thanks for your help, she said. You're welcome, I said, taking a deep drag of my thin cigarette. Later, I happened to run into the same thief outside another store in the same chain. He clearly reasoned that, should he win, he'd need to cash the tickets with a clerk who didn't immediately recognize him. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I didn't forget to heal. I assumed it would automatically heal me up when I beat the act. At least somewhat. He had the tickets in hand, scratching at them like raw mosquito bites, muttering to himself, Come on, come on. The nails on the left hand he used to scratch 3 tickets at a time were bent and broken. In some places they were chewed to shreds. Where exposed, the crazed man's swollen nail beds bled freely into the tickets. There was a demon inside him. Already I could feel the desperate need radiating out from the man. Old scabs opening again. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Come on, he repeated. This was a man possessed by a seemingly insatiable need to win. He was beyond desperation. Something primal inside him was making him do this. He had lost control. Some demons we invite in because we don't have any other choice. Okay, we do have to be careful here. We don't know what it does on attack, but we do know that we have to be able to defend that attack. Because we don't have the health to do otherwise. So at least for this first turn, I have to be able to defend. Okay. If it's just doing vulnerable, then that's okay. Not great, but okay. Yeah, 24 of 100 is not great. Let's go ahead and get our Guardian out.
Reveal your true name!
Wager Demon. 9 by 3? That's rough. Okay. Burn these two people. Silvered Mirror. Arcane Shield. Burn Salt Prison. Hold release the hounds in order to have it in order to not reduce the block of everything to 6. Well, because normally my instinct in this game would be to, like, take money over damage money over life every time, because that's what you do in Slay the Spire, because you recover health when you beat a tier. And so it never occurred to me that I might need to behave differently here. Let's go ahead and burn both of those. $13 times 5? What the heck? Five attacks, some of which are going at me, and if any of them connect with me. That's so much damage. Well, obviously I have to apply as much word to myself as I can. Yeah, this run is over at this point. Unless I get so lucky. I need... If he hits me only twice. Ah!
I did all I could.
Alright. Yeah, I didn't realize that it didn't automatically recover health. Okay. Good to know, though. I think the Pale Sensor was a good choice. I kind of like the Pale Sensor, in that it makes it so I don't take damage in the first place.
This is no ordinary city.
Yes, I wave my hands with annoyance, trying to forestall the mockery I fully expected. I know. On the contrary, they said, I don't think you do. Oh, really? It says I'm fine now. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm gonna reload Twitch for a minute to make sure everything's okay. Okay, I'm gonna trust that things are better now. Because it says I'm good now. In the silence that followed, it became clear Angel wanted to say something more. Typically, however, they weren't gonna come out and say it. So that meant waiting. Whoa! Whoa! Hello? Are we back? Okay, let me take a minute here and see what I can do to get this under control. What the heck? Hello? Hello? How are we doing now? Why is it still saying I'm offline? What the heck? Hello? Can one of y'all type something if I'm still here? I can't tell right now. Okay. Am I still online for you? It's saying I'm offline, but it's also saying I'm live. Okay, what I'm gonna... I will be right back. I'm going to try closing OBS and restarting OBS. I'll be right back. Hello. We're trying this one more time. Hey! We seem to be good now. Can I get a confirmation from somebody? Great. Alright. Apologies for all the messy internet. I have no idea what caused that. My only guess is that, like, I had left OBS on in between Monday and tonight, and I guess it just has to be turned off. I can't just leave it running. So I'm going to assume that that was the issue and that that's something I need to fix, to not do from now on. In the meantime, let's play. Typically, however, they weren't going to come out. Yeah. Yes, yes, I waved my hand with annoyance, trying to forestall a mockery I fully expected. I know. On the contrary, they said. I don't think you do. In the silence that followed, it became clear Angel wanted to say something more. Typically, however, they weren't going to come out and say it, so that meant waiting. I stared up at them on their perch while they shifted uncomfortably, clearly confused by the fact that I hadn't already ridden off into the city. There's something you wanted to tell me. Angel's scowl was clearly torn between their desire to be mysterious and their desire to educate a lesser being, perhaps. You've met the witch, they finally said, the mortal who twists others around their fingers. Be wary, for you do not know her true designs. I don't know your true designs. Angel sniffed, unimpressed by my wit. Nevertheless, you didn't get close to Malys, barely halfway before you perished yet again. I tried to detect the usual note of mocking and reprimand, but it wasn't there. Instead, it sounded like concern. Are you worried about me? I chuckled. I always worry about you, Noah. Again, the sincerity. This was very unlike them. I waited, but Angel said nothing more. It was time to begin the hunt once again. Alright, we're gonna get a good run this time. Our goal for the night is to learn this game well enough to at least consistently make it to the first boss. I want to not have runs just ending randomly before I ever see the boss again. I think this middle path is good. It lets me see both the card trader and Angel. And hit 3 greater demons. Let's try that. I'd done this many times in my life. Someone reached out to me, a friend of a friend, or someone who knew of a previous exorcism I'd performed. Someone who was of the church and yet had found no help there. They begged me to come each time in a letter or a quick phone call. Meet me at my church, they said, their last safe place, just in case I wasn't who I said I was. The moment I entered, she looked across the room and knew I was, in fact, the real deal. I went to speak to her. I already knew what she was going to say. She began begging me for help before I even got to her. Please, she said. My son isn't himself. I've talked to the church and they won't do anything, and I don't know why. But my priest said that you might be someone who can do something he can't, something he won't. I corrected her, although there was little point in pressing an issue that was never going to change. But yes, I'm here to help. Take me to him, I said, and began my preparations. Alright, there's still things to learn about this game. Discard. The question is, how safe? I can afford to play it a little safe. If I didn't do that, I would start next turn with 2 candles lit, which would be really nice. But at this stage of the game, it's probably smart to just avoid taking any damage, period, if possible. In this case, though, I will save up the energy, because I'm not getting attacked at all. Should have done that first if I was going to do it, so I'm not.
Leave this innocent and be gone.
Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that I was probably nearly dead. Killed him already. Ooh, all of these cost 2. I wish that I could see their upgrades. Enkidu's shield is good, because it's better than playing 2 wards, which is important to keep in mind for these. I think of these, I do like Enkidu's shield best. If we end up with allies, it'll be really helpful, though. Like, it's a arcane ward plus. How many underground parking lots did this city have? Far more than it needed, for all of them were little more than half-baked holes in the ground, and each of them tweaked Noah's sense of claustrophobia far more than he would have liked. Wait, hold on a second. Oh, okay, good. But he'd parked his bike outside, just going in, down and down into the darkness, because he sensed the infernal below. It didn't take long to locate the source. The man was curled up on the ground next to one of the large supporting pillars. He groaned and twisted in his agony, limbs spread at odd angles to the rest of his body. He had likely crawled down here like an animal going into seclusion for its last moments, a primal instinct to seek solitude at the end. But this was a weak demon, too strong for the young man perhaps, but not too strong for me. I could save him. I wouldn't need to stay in this dark hole for long. This demon was about to learn the meaning of pain. I love him when he's just edgy. Noah being really edgy is so funny. Starting a prediction, by the way. We've left this one. I'm leaving this one open for 10 minutes in case anybody wants to hop in with a prediction. Special action. probably does not summon a demon. We know it's not summon a demon because a summon does have its own thing. I think. Whatever. We're gonna fight him. Nearly kill him this turn. Ah. I see. Well, what's unfortunate about this is that I don't actually have any attacks this turn. So we'll go ahead and get rid of one of these. My deck's gonna get reshuffled. I'm gonna bet that I get 2 attacks next turn. If I get 2, I feel good about doing this. I don't, but that's fine because I did get a ton of block. 18 is enough to cover all of those attacks on its own, and we do connect with our attack, so it's fine anyway. Oh, I like Hold Your Ground. I like Hold Your Ground. We're taking Hold Your Ground. 3 light is potential healing or potential damage, and it's draw 2. So at worst, it's refund the cost. At best, it's like extra actions. I stepped back into the dusty hotel room, where the whispers became screams. No longer needing to search for the source, I went right to work destroying the bed's hollow wooden base. The last time I danced with this particular devil, I walked away victorious. A demon of pure sloth had sealed the woman under there where she was wasting away and waiting to die. I broke through the wood to reach the woman. The whole time she was screaming. I spoke directly to the demon inside her. "Begone, demon!" The scream became mocking laughter, and I realized how dry the woman's throat must have been after so long under the mattress. It was likely longer than the time it would take to die of dehydration, but demons had ways of keeping their hosts alive beyond the laws of our physiology. "Why don't you come in here with her?" the demon asked, forcing its host to smirk. "It's safe in here. Nothing bad will ever happen." "That sounds like hell," I said. "Hell is what you make of it," the demon said with a wry grin. I'd toyed with this monster enough, it was time for it to go. Okay. Well, we're obviously dumping that.
Rise above the darkness. Let them repel the foul invader. Prostrate myself before the other's powers, whose whispers still echo.
Good, good. The fact that it's using its energy to defend itself here means that it's not going to be attacking
This
me.
thing of wickedness. Grant us thy mercy. Grant us thy protection. Smite this evil before me. Those who stare, speak thy name.
Stimio again. Inver.
Begone with you.
This is still such a cool design. And a reasonably complicated fight, too. We are not on an aggressive hand, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna burn the incense. Let's stack up some defend. If I do it this way, I'll end up with more defense overall, and it'll last longer. Having done this, I should be good for a couple turns now. For a couple turns here.
Give them the strength they need to endure.
About 4 minutes left on the prediction if anybody wanted to make an attempt. Or make a guess on what's going to happen here. I am of the opinion that this is something we'll do. Like, I don't think we're going to fail this. But you would be entirely in your rights to guess that I will fail. Let's hold up our defenses for a turn or two more. Since I can't kill it yet.
Those who stand within the holy light, be solemn and bear witness.
I don't think your 200 sphere is all that much in the long run. Like, as you say, you earned that much just talking in the chat. What's interesting here is I can outlast this thing.
Aid the innocent. Give them the strength they need to endure.
Like, I'm not losing by any stretch. Or maybe I am. Because he's not dying. I'm not doing very much to, like, make him lose. I'm just sort of holding. And I am about to lose all of the ground that I was making holding because I can't afford. I don't have fortify after this turn.
Be gone. Let them rise above the darkness. Let them repel the foul invader. Glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
Yeah, see, that's kind of exactly what I mean.
The spirits of wickedness in this world of darkness.
Yeah, I'm about to let that defense drop because I can't afford to burn incense and also put out an arcane shield this turn.
Another
So one down thing I did realize, this is not actually more than any one arcane shield, any two arcane shields, because of my toughen. And submissions have closed on the prediction. And I only have one compel. So I think we're on a rebuild some defense turn. Having it for 2 turns means that I can draw back. I have time to draw back into the card. And 0 cost Faith Restored is real good for these purposes as well. We're gonna burn a Compel to hold the ground.
You have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil.
Burn.
Speak now to the host, so lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice.
Faith Restored. And I do need more damage in this deck. But I'm also learning how to make this particular function of the deck, this particular build of the deck work.
So you are loved. Listen not to the dark whispers. Believe you are cherished.
It does work. But as you say, I need a good damage. I need a good attack. And I need... Like, I have a remarkable consistency with the hold your ground, even.
Cast off the liar. Deny it. Refuse it. Reject
I'm sort of
it.
regretting
Hear my
taking
voice
the
and
Incubus
return to the
Shield,
light.
because I don't get the Oath advantage on it either. Yeah, we gotta set up block again. We gotta start chaining together the block again. Which is real rough, because now we're in a bad spot where we're losing damage again. That'll hold it for a while, though. Yeah, it recovering life is real annoying. This deck is not built to handle that very well. Not without taking damage, and while I could probably just do that, I would appreciate if, like, light feels weaker than it maybe should be feeling.
Almighty above, that we may serve in peace.
But we definitely aren't making progress against it very well. Okay, we're gonna burn, burn, burn. Extend our shield, burn, damage.
This tyranny, from the grip of this unclean.
Yeah, having to rely on, oh my dear. Ugh. Yeah. And I'm definitely trying to focus the damage where I can. But I also don't want to... it's hard. It's annoying. Let's try not burning the incense and see how far we can get. Hold your ground.
Almighty above,
Burn the
that we
shield.
may serve in peace and liberty.
Shield.
Deliver us
Hell.
from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and unworthy. Now,
Let's see where we're at. Because at one point I feel like I fought this and it was doing 3 each, but I think it must have been a little bit further in the trail.
crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came.
Come on now. Just die.
Those who stand within the holy light, be solemn and bear witness.
Yeah, I might have been being too clever there.
They be innocent. Give them the strength they need to endure.
Come on now. Let me kill you. Okay, now that's too big for it to kill. It won't. If it connects with that, it won't kill it, which is, I'm not sure if that's good or bad for me.
Let them rise above the darkness. Let them repel the foul invader. Speak now to the host, so lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice.
It does give me a turn to get at it. Oh my dear. Everything I didn't want to see.
Another blood falls.
Everything I didn't want to see. Yikes.
Though you are loved, listen not to the dark whispers. Believe you are cursed. Cast off the liar. Deny it. Refuse it. Reject it. Hear my voice and return to the light. There.
Ugh.
Most glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer. Defend us against the spirits of wickedness in the world of darkness.
I feel as though this deck is not doing its job.
Defend those who you have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil.
I'm simply not doing enough damage.
Haru and Gunore. Fight and have always.
Why are we calling on ancient? It is keeping me at full health. But because it's doing nothing else? Like,
Lend me your arcane might.
it's still kind of yikes. Because it's not doing anything else, which means that I can't. I'm not making progress forward. And I'm not sure what happens if I go into the next round with this thing having that much health.
This thing of wickedness, grant us thy protection, grant us thy mercy. Smite this evil before me. There. Behold the light, think the darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before me.
If I had silver, it would be better, because then I could be dealing damage. But no, I'm doing nothing, just about literally nothing except hold my ground.
We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts. As wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of faith.
Ugh. Come on. This hand doesn't have any offense in it.
Back to the pits.
I've never had this much trouble finishing a fight this right here.
Whose whispers still echo.
That thing's dying before it gets to deal me damage, so I don't need to worry about defending.
Begone with you.
We gotta just try. Holy cow. It's such a nuisance.
I beseech you to deliver us from this infernal spirit, this thing of wickedness.
We've gotten it back below starting health again.
Grant us thy protection, grant us thy mercy. Smite this evil before me. Another demon falls. This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread. Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
Most aggro hand I've gotten in a while. No, it started at 45.
Begone with you.
We're not doing quite that bad.
Hear our call. Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us. Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before.
Ugh. Alright.
We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts.
Yeah. So we're gonna have it in a turn or two.
As wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of faith.
If we can draw attack cards. Which we should next turn. We should have like 3 next turn.
I command you, O wicked serpent, O deceiver of innocence.
Okay, we have it.
Faith is my shield, and faith is my sword. I cast light upon the darkness.
We're gonna hold because I don't know if these guys are gonna deal damage on the expel turn. They do. Thank goodness I blocked. I was seeing now it's actually attacking me. It's, apparently the max health doesn't matter. It resets, which is so good. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble.
I say to thee, release your hold and tremble before the righteous.
We have the energy to do this, is why we're gonna do this. It just makes the sense to set up while I have so much time to.
This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread. Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
This is good though. Oh, it dealt 20 damage to itself for some wrath? Okay. That's totally manageable. Seven times 4, that's 28. So I only need 1 more arcane shield and I'm good.
Hear our call. Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
I think we're gonna take 1 damage off of the leeches. Oh no, my first damage all game.
Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before me.
it does seem to be doing none of the eating its leeches that it was doing before. I know, right? Here, and watch this. We're gonna do the light thing on ourselves this time. So we're ending with full health anyway. Ooh. So here's the thing. If we're stuck on this stupid deck, if we're stuck on a stupid like slow, grindy deck, something like Adamantine Resolve is great because it makes it so that it like steadily improves us over time. So it's scaling. One phantom at the start of. Oh, neat. So it seems like it's just doing more of the same annoying thing, but it's actually good still. It was the kind of place where someone wealthy lived. A rock star, maybe, or a dilettante who'd never held a job in their entire life. Someday it had been glamorous. Nowadays it didn't feel so plush. From the moment I walked through the door, it was heavy with the scent of decay. Like something evil had been oozing in its own juices for far too long. The fancy apartment was now the home of a dark and terrible creature, a squatter that had taken over the owner body and soul. I was hunting. The demon would be no match for me. Oh. Nothing else. Just that. Okay, we can do this. Yeah, it's not a pleasant sounding description, is it? Oh yeah, we have this thing's number. We'll go ahead and use the second moment of doubt. We're not reliant on trying to take it out. Like, we have no attachment to trying to take it out next turn, necessarily. Yeah. Nine times 3 is 27? So, do this, burn off the last round of doubt. Taking no unnecessary risks while still easily holding the line. Just getting ready to block.
Deny it! Refuse it! Reject it! Hear my voice and return! It is done.
Nice. Three glow. Two vulnerable and 25 ward. Wild. I think I like holy water. Because it's damage over time, which works well with the rest of what I'm doing. And I do have a good draw. I think I'd take holy water. Let's try it. Let's try it. I think we go left here. I thought I'd spotted Angel in an alleyway, but when I doubled back and got off my bike to check, they were nowhere in sight, which was odd. Usually, Angel is only too happy to let themselves be found, even if it's only to mock me and refuse to answer my questions. So I ventured further into the alley in search of them. Angel, I called out. I know you're here. I saw you. You don't need to shout, came the annoyed reply. When I spun around, sure enough, there they were, as if they'd been standing there all along. Apparently I do, since you decided to start hiding from me. I was not hiding, they snapped. This was not their usual spirited banter. Rather than continue, they turned their back to me, and now I saw what held their attention. A painted mural on the wall. Graffiti, but rather well done, in depicting cartoon angels lifting the spirits of the grateful, smiling people up to a cloudy heaven. In larger letters, it declared, "They go to a better place," and below it a list of names. Victims of some tragedy, lost and faded with time. Angel glared at it. This is what mortals think of the heavenly kingdom? It's what mankind was promised. I doubted they were even listening to me. They said, confirming my suspicion. They traced an idle fingernail along the depiction of a sweet angelic being so different from the creature before me it may as well have been a different species. I burned with questions. Angels were cagey about heaven and even more so about Almighty, and while I didn't expect this one to be any different, I still had to ask. Are mortals permitted into the kingdom? You go where you deserve. That's not an answer. Angel finally turned to look at me, their pale eyes glowing and sharp. What you see is not my true form, they said, any more than this ridiculous depiction. Do you think we exist to dote on the whims of mortal souls? Do you think we exist to dote on the whims of mortal souls for all eternity? Is that a no? They smiled mischievously. We do as the Almighty commands. And what is his command when it comes to the promise of everlasting reward? I could see they had several responses, no doubt quips meant to demoralize me, but then the light went out of their eyes. It was replaced with sadness? Regret? I couldn't really tell. It is inconclusive, they finally replied. I waited, hoping for more. Inconclusive how? Did angels not know? Did God not clarify? Was heaven, in fact, closed to the righteous until he decided? But angels said nothing. Again, instead they turned to stare at the mural again, frowning, and I knew I'd get nothing more on the subject. Frustrated, I decided it was time to return to the hunt. Okay. I can upgrade a card. What would upgrading this do? 21 ward? That is an absurd amount of ward. What does this upgrade do? 2 fortify and 2 toughen. That's really cool. 7 light? 4 and 5 glow? 21 or ward 2 of. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take. Makes me wonder if in this setting, like, my instinct is like, oh, inconclusive because they were given, like, a choice or something. Or, like, they were told to, like, make decisions of their own or the like. I arrived at Gideon's mansion once more. This time, as the silent manservant led me through the entry hall, I could hear the sound of piano music. Sure enough, he was once again in the conservatory. I marveled at the sheer size of it, the sheen of its marble floors, as the manservant unceremoniously left me there to listen to the merry tune being played, which Gideon continued to play even once he noticed my entrance, favoring me with a large grin. Aha! On the hunt once again, I see. Are you surprised? Not at all. I'd be more surprised if you'd managed to defeat Malys by now, honestly, and that's no slight against your prowess. He completed his tune with 3 loud, punctuated notes, and then waggled his eyebrows at me, which I'm certain is considerable. I didn't respond, so he closed the piano and hopped off his stool. So what brings you to my doorstep rather than Lydia's? The witch's little magic's proving less appealing? This sparked my interest. You know I've had dealings with her. Of course. The moment I realized she'd allowed her damnable little club to invite you inside, I knew she'd get her claws into you. And you'd rather get your claws into me first. His grin widened. Well, my claws are into you, Noah. What can I say? I'm territorial that way. I'm not a piece of meat for the two of you to fight over, I muttered. Pish, you say that as if it's a bad thing. Why the competition? What's your issue with her exactly? Exactly? Gideon circled the piano, running a manicured hand along its smooth surface. She doesn't keep her word. We made a deal and she broke it. So far has avoided the consequences. And you don't believe in avoiding consequences for one's actions? I believe a deal's a deal, he said firmly. Some things are sacred. A funny line coming from a demon. He scowled. You'll find that I'm not any sort of demon. I have standards, and there are some lines one simply doesn't cross. His scowl suddenly sweetened into a saccharine smile. Not if one wishes to keep things civilized. I'll remember that. I hope you do. And I'd suggest remembering it as you deal more with the witch. You showed me plenty of caution, but I've already told you what I am. Had he truly? As I left to continue my hunt, I had to wonder. I'm getting the sense that nobody knows as much as they think they do. Ooh, a second hold your ground is not a bad pickup. How many chants do I have? Oh! The compels are chants. Everything else I'm carrying right now is items. Hold your ground could be a really interesting pickup. Oh, I can't afford to remove anything. Okay. I think I will pick up the hold your ground then. I don't need to hit a third shop. That would be a bad idea. I have no money. Hanging out. A lonely convenience store interchangeable with any other in the city. Dim fluorescent lights, smudged windows, and faded signs that cheerfully declared sales for things no one wanted. A single tired employee puttered around within, but the weak infernal presence I detected wasn't coming from him. No, it was here, outside, somewhere in the parking lot. I began to look, preparing myself for anything. I found it around the back. Here, a small concrete court had been built for skateboarders, and in a concrete bowl, a group of boys were surrounding a smaller boy, jeering and name-calling. The smaller boy wailed, begging them to leave him be. The moment they saw me, the bullies scattered. But I wasn't seeking them. The demon was in the boy they'd surrounded, and as he looked up at me from the ground, he suddenly stopped crying and gave me a wicked grin. It was a pitiful thing, and I already knew its name. What do these do? They explode on death. For damage equal to their maximum will. Okay. We're gonna burn those.
This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread.
So I need to be able to put up 17 block. Plus 3 is a pretty average amount for that to go up. Let's hold our ground. Looks like it's not going to be exploding this turn, so it's going to keep growing. I don't love that for it. I'm tempted to pull focus away from the dark thought itself to try and put some damage onto the flower. Yeah, I think that's correct. Let's... put some damage into the flower so that we kill it before it gets too big.
Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
And we get to toughen up some more, which is even better. Can't really do anything here. So let's shield, because that'll carry over to next turn. Deal some damage somewhere to do it. Oh right, no, that takes energy. Oops. That's kind of dumb of me. Okay. Hold my ground.
Faith is my shield, faith is my sword. I cast light upon the darkness.
Oh, it's gonna pop one of them itself this turn. I need to be real careful here. Let's Adamantine Resolve. Pop those. I probably should have held one of them and dealt damage, but as it is, I'll live whichever pops. So we're gonna focus on this Dark Dot. I think we're good now. Nice! We get it. We're getting the miracle triggers. That's what we would wanted. Part of the idea of getting the further draw on the deck was that I knew that they would kind of sort of stack with each other. How much can I do here while still having full? So let's start by getting to full. I can play... No, I can't burn the incense if I want to. But I can do 2 arcane shields and then burn these. Let's Adamantine Resolve. So that'll give us some more Fortify on our Explode here. Before these guys explode. Our defenses are at the point where we can absolutely afford to ignore these flowers now. That's true. How about we fix that? Perfect. I would rather not leave them to keep growing and deal me more damage later, is the thing. Like, the more they're allowed to grow unchecked, the more damage they get to do to me when they do pop. And so doing a little bit of work to prevent them from just killing me kind of at will, the better. No need to apologize. It's a totally reasonable question. It's a totally reasonable question. It's just a matter of, like, we're thinking through this, we're taking our time. I don't think any of these are worth it. I don't, if I had any attack scaling, like, if I was getting any wrath, then Salt Prison would be great. I'm not, though, so it doesn't really do much. No, I can ward allies, but not enemies. I didn't want any of those, by the way. The only one I was considering was Salt Prison, and that, while it is an improved... it is an improved Compel, I don't think it does anything right now. I walked into the busy pub, sensing that something was off within, and immediately realized I'd been here before, prior to the night starting over again. It had the same young men cheering at the sporting event on the television, and standing at the bar was the same bartender, the one with the salt and pepper hair who surveyed his kingdom with a single intent gaze, the one who noticed me immediately as I entered. The same demon was within him. I'd driven this demon out already. I knew that. I'd held the hand of the shaken host after the rite had completed. A blind man, as it turned out, and he'd sobbed into my shoulder as he thanked me. And now it was undone as if it had never happened, even if I remembered it. The demon, the one of the great floating eye whose true name danced on the tip of my tongue, was back to silently stare at the bar, to stare at me. If I had to defeat it again, then so be it. This time I walked boldly towards the bar. The bartender barely moved. He continued wiping the same glass, and his eyes tracked my approach with a kind of frozen equanimity. "It is pointless to oppose us," came a voice from within him, a deep rumble that spoke of multitudes. "You are the one trapped here, not we. Have you not realized this? I fight because you resist. That's all I need to know." I fight because you resist. In any other context, that would be a kind of frightening thing to be saying. Like you're attacking me just because I'm defending myself? What are you doing here, dude? Exactly. Okay. That's not good in a deck where I'm already struggling a little bit to do damage.
Almighty God, that we may serve in peace and liberty.
All right. Well, I'm loving these hold your grounds. I don't love the damage on them. And to a point, I'm only... Oh! It changed pattern. That's bad. I didn't know it could do that.
Deceiver of innocence. Faith is my shield. Faith is my sword. I can't.
In an ideal world, do something's heart. What does,
Release your hold and tremble before the righteous.
what does that mean for the individual? Like, what is the heart of the thing?
Hear my prayer.
Another positive about light is that it is definitively a different, it is definitively not technically damage, which means it's still doing its full value even when, like, Shackle is really messing me up.
This world of darkness. Rise from the tyranny of evil. I call upon the ancient powers who lie dormant, Haru and Gamera. Fighting have always fought against
Come
the
on
most
now.
ancient of evils.
what does it? You can think about it in terms of what does a heart do. You could think about it in terms of like what is the heart of a thing, like what is the most important part of something. You could think about it in terms of a literal magical heart. Like what literal magical heart might be behind a card. Like behind a heart card. There you go. Unfortunately for this demon, I'm now getting an absurd amount of defense every time I block. And my block is never going down. I almost feel like I'm close to being able to, like, go semi-infinite. Like, we can get cards around Ash. Another few cards that could do stuff like that. Another few cards that can draw us pieces. Especially consistent ones. We would be in business. Oh my dear. I just gained like 26 block, or 26, 27 block on the single attack. And we're gonna keep buffing it because it's so funny at this point. Like, how much do you think, or do you think I gain off this? We're at 35. We go up to 71. And that number's just about never going down. We're at 100 block. We've reached a point where we have infinite block, practically. I could start burning these dooms. And like, without real issue, because I have so much ward, I'm outscaling him. Yeah, I don't care. Burn him. If only I could scale my attack that way. Because I'm still kind of forced to just grind him out, however slow that may take. Yikes. I don't particularly love both hold my grounds being in hand. Ooh, especially followed by that? That's rough. Immediately draw the Ash card. Yeah, that's fine. We are going to do just fine here. This is not going to be a problem. Ooh. That is an interesting thing I've noticed in this game. It's not always...
Those who stand in the shadows.
Oh my dear, 102 damage? We can block that. We might have to not play Adamantine Resolve for once, but we can absolutely block that. Consumes all its doom, and now it doesn't get to do that again. That's a good thought. It also, even aside from just, you know, telling you what's already been done, it can inspire, like, what sort of design space is being thought about by other people. It's like, oh yeah, that's a design space that's open for that idea. The host will survive. It's only really after the next one that I have to worry about the host. After this one that I have to worry about the host. We're gonna let both those be and free fade restored. I like holding that for when it's necessary, and in that case it was kind of necessary. Shield. Burn the holy water. Faith restored. Incense. Compel!
Back to the pits. I command you.
Oh, I totally understand. String of claws. Increase +1 hand size? Yo! That's incredible. Ooh. That is horrifying. Recite the pages could be some desperately needed damage scaling for our like long scaling play game. But getting to miracle warding crystals, no, I don't actually need the effect even if I can miracle it. Yeah, I think we take this. And I think I'm comfortable going for another greater. Then we can visit Gideon again and get a card remove. I stood outside the motel room, one of those cheap places, sign declaring long-term rentals, where you can walk right up to the door without needing to speak to the clerk. Not that he'd have noticed asleep behind his desk. I could feel the infernal presence coming from the room within. Even without that sense, however, the stench was obvious. Foulness and decay. And the door was slightly ajar as well. I could go right in. It was practically an invitation. I held my breath and went inside. The first thing that struck me, aside from the stench, was the garbage. Takeout containers strewn about, some empty but most all but untouched and full of rotting food. And there, laying on a young bed with sweat-soaked sheets, was a young man. Or, rather, what was left of him. Now he was all but skin and bones, his skeletal arms akimbo as he took ragged breaths. He must have been there for some time. Days, weeks even. How had no one noticed? "Can you hear me?" I asked as I drew closer. The young man's eyes were pale, and his breath came in ragged gasps. Underneath his withered flesh I could see things crawling like worms, but too big to be worms. They writhed and slithered, easily visible. No one's coming," the man muttered. I don't think he'd even registered I was there. "No one's ever coming. No one will ever know." "I'm here," I reassured him, though I hesitated to touch him. He looked so delicate, thin skin covered by mottled bruises. Suddenly, his mouth stretched into a rictus of a grin. "No one's coming," a new voice said, deep and sonorous. The demon that wriggled within, though I'd gathered that already. "You will leave this boy," I told it. "We feasted long and we feasted well," the demon declared, "and not a single soul has cared. No one is coming for him." "I've come," I said, "and your feast ends here and now." Okay. Don't love having both. Hold your grounds in hand to start. Hold your ground again. We'll let recite the pages. Enable some scaling. Off. Okay, so I needed to watch for it attacking me immediately. Got it. I also need to direct the light towards me instead of away. Heal up a little bit. Disco Elysium could be funny, yeah. You say somehow like you didn't do this yourself. Like it's not your own fault that it is that cost. You entirely had the choice of what the mana cost was. Oh yes. No, I mean, it's a card.
Your true name.
Those who feast endure. Oh, it's a locust. It's a locust demon. I love that it's teeth of man or hands. That's such a horrifying. That's so horrifying in such a cool way. If Burnt creates 2 copies of itself and applies to Plague to Noah. Plague boosts demon damage. Okay. Right, okay. Let's start traditional ways one starts these. I would rather clear the infestation. Because I'm good on block. This is such a cool design. Okay. Burn. Ugh. I'm not getting attacked this turn, so losing that is fine. I'd rather get some damage in. I mean, it's not entirely monochromatic, it's reds and oranges primarily. But that's different from monochrome. Yeah. I definitely get what you mean, though. We're simply going to not play the infestation. We're not gonna... I'm more concerned about getting my scaling done proper than clearing the infestation. Because the infestation is just... NQD's shield was such a bad take. I've never used it once since I realized it wasn't as good as 2 arcane shields for me. No, he's done. What we're gonna do, though, is we're gonna clear this infestation. We're gonna burn this compel, and we are gonna go ahead and adamantine resolve again. Yeah, we go to the expel phase. Pretty sure the host doesn't need wrath. I don't think that helps her. No, it's totally okay. I don't think we're supposed to know who the non-binary angel is. The character doesn't know them by any name other than just Angel. So it's still being, like, fairly opaque to us what the identity of Angel is, I think is intentional. He's just Angel. Whatever that means. Oh, it's just dealing damage. Oh, it's summoning. I don't know. It did. Sniper's right that he doesn't seem to use pronouns. Like, that's a good catch there, genuinely. Okay, what is this thing that this is summoned? Yeah. Deal 33% of plague as minimum damage to Loka Noah each turn. Okay. So it's dealing me what? 4 damage? That's simply not a problem. Yeah, that's fair. No, it says deal 33% of the plague value. Not... It says minimum damage, but I don't know why it's the word minimum is there. Yeah, I assume it goes up with the amount of plague. I can't know for sure, of course, but, like, that would be my presumption. Sense. Arcane Shield.
It ends here.
The disadvantage of Light is that it doesn't go up with Wrath. Do we want a third hold your ground? I think I do. I think I take a third hold your ground. We're getting to the point where it's a genuine, like, there's a genuine chance that we can start chaining hold your grounds together. Like, regularly. This time, Gideon's manservant brought me into a new part of the mansion. We passed by a couple of rooms which could have been racquetball courts, a gymnasium, and then ended up in a nondescript white room with lacquered floor. Gideon stood there in fencing gear, a body-hugging white outfit complete with a mesh mask and an épée that he was slicing at thin air. I honestly wasn't certain it was him until he lifted the mask and grinned at me, shadowed eyes and a face gleaming with sweat. Then he sniffed at the air. "You stink." That took me by surprise. "I what?" "Stink," he repeated. He walked over to a single chair by the wall over which his clothing and jacket lay and began to change. "You always do, but this time it's rather strong." I sighed. I was beginning to get tired of how everyone complaining about how I smelled. "Dude, take a shower." "You're not the first to tell me that. Normally they're complaining about you, though." He chuckled. "I don't doubt it. A Celestial could detect the faintest scent of me just like I could of them. And I do." "Ah, so you're smelling angel." "Highly original name," he said. Then he walked by me, already clothed and not sweating in the slightest, as if he hadn't been fencing at all. "Coming?" I followed Gideon through the mansion, though where we were going I couldn't say. "I've only met a single one of them," he said thoughtfully, "since the divide. I've met a few. And you're still alive? Gracious. They don't have quite the grudge against me that they do against your kind." Such ignorance. They'll never understand the Almighty's enduring love for mortals. You're all less than a stain beneath their feet which never can touch the ground. We got to the sitting area and he sat with a sigh. If you've met several, you're fortunate to still live. Even the one I met is the reason I've been on the run so long. Oh? Oh, it wasn't your side business? No, no. He gave me a smile that said I was stupid but cute. No, that came later. Come, let's make a deal. I wanted to ask more, but he was right. I had a hunt to get back to. Fascinating. Collect yourself at this stage of the game could be very good. Once again, approaching the point of, like, able to draw a ton of cards. Okay, removal is 56. I think I kill... burn the incense. Because at this point, Adamantine Resolve does everything Burn the Incense does, but better. And I don't want to... I absolutely can remove the Enkidu, but I can't remove both. And I see a situation where I use Enkidu's shield more likely than I do the Burn the Incense. Like, if I'm desperate, I can use Enkidu's shield to pop some defend. That's not the case for Burn the Incense. It just does Adamantine Resolve, but worse. And yes, I can theoretically upgrade it in order to make it cost 1, but then I'm, like, effectively, like, it's effectively upgrade debt. Second Adamantine Resolve wouldn't be amiss, but I think Collect Yourself is better in the long run. Because drawing 3 cards mean you can burn 2 to make up costs and still have a third in hand, which is really good for a deck like this. It makes you go theoretically energy positive. This was my 3rd time writing into the strip. I already knew that the demon was waiting for me in the little construction office on the outskirts, that he would compel me to visit him whether I liked it or not. That was fine. I had questions for him, questions I knew he didn't want to answer. But there were ways of getting information out of someone even when they didn't want to provide it. I parked my bike and went to the office before the summons was even made. The bloated slug waited inside, seated at his desk with the lamp on. He smirked at me as I walked in. Eager this time, are you? I have a few questions, and I have no answers. He sat back, the leather of his chair cracking and protesting loudly. Yet it seems you're going to return over and over again to engage me, no matter my preferences. It's rather tiresome. You don't think it's tiresome when I defeat you, I said. I hear your howls of pain. For a moment he didn't reply. He simply thrummed his fingers on the desk, smiling coldly. Yes, he said. There is that as well. I slowly sat down in the small chair across from his desk, the first time I'd done so, and it was clear he was intrigued by the move. I'll answer a question of yours if you'll answer one of mine. His eyebrows raised. You assume that there's anything I wish to know that only you can answer? I do assume that, yes. The demon swiveled back and forth in his chair, now truly interested. Finally, a delighted grin crept its way across his pockmarked face. You hunt the devil of Babylon for revenge, he began slowly. I didn't correct him. Tell me what Malys did to earn such enmity from you. That's it? Simple enough. I began to answer, but then paused as I suddenly realized I couldn't recall. Up until that moment, I was so certain that Malys demanded my vengeance, but for what? How could I forget something like that? Had it somehow been taken from me? I was shocked into silence. As I thought, the demon said, and then he said nothing more. It appeared our time for games was done. It was time to face him on the field of battle. Edgeman, Mick Edgelord, dude. Yo, this is exactly the kind of opening we want to see. So much card draw, it's absurd. gonna burn all the 2 of these. Then we collect. Burn. 2. Hold.
Cast out this
Burn. 2. Hold. Hold again. Holy water. Burn. 2. 3. We're gonna recite the paid passages and adamantine resolve. I know, right? Oh, he's dealing damage to me? Okay, sure, we can deal with that. Burn. Burn. Hold your ground. Burn. Burn. Hold your ground. Burn. Burn. Collect yourself. Hold your ground. Burn. Burn. Recite the passages. Compel. Arcane Shield. Accept the passing of the resolve. Well, he didn't attack me that time. That's annoying. Let's go ahead and get the adamantine resolve out of the way. Let's drop the arcane shield, and I guess this compel as well, since we have all 3 in hand. We're just gonna burn through the deck here a little bit. It doesn't have to be, the heart doesn't have to be in the name. That doesn't seem like a requirement for anything. Burn, burn. Collect. Hold. Hold. Let's burn a shield before it turns out there's a upper hand side. Hold. Holy water. Drop a compel, adamantine resolve. Oh, I can drop this arcane signet. Powering greed, drop faith restored. Recite the passages. Drop. Compel.
Tell me your name, demon.
Hidden Pillar. This deck is doing exactly what I hoped it would. Drop the arcane. We'll hold the collect yourself for last. Hold. Drop. Drop. Collect. Hold. It's not attacking, it's boarding for 40? Jeez, it's so rude of it. I think I'm burning these 2 in favor of clearing these devouring greeds. You could go with heart of the cards. I'm a strong believer in like just cutting individual words, like as many unnecessary words as possible in order to make a name sound better. I'm not actually gonna rush to kill Mammon here. I can afford to stack up some. I think I can afford to stack up some scaling in this phase. I should have Adamantine Resolved first. Instead, I'm going to burn the Adamantine Resolve to clear the 2 new Devouring Greaves. Get those out of the way. Hold my ground. What did it deal? Oh, it is getting buffed by the Wrath. I hadn't quite processed that. That's really good to know. Yeah, hold your ground. To hold your ground. Yeah, the card advantage when you could just start whipping, like, hold your grounds into one another is absurd. Yeah, this is exactly what I hoped. We're able to, like, with the current state of the deck, we're able to make slow but steady progress against the demon. While, holding our ground. Ooh, this might be an instance where I do the Enkidu's shield. Hold on, how much shield do I gain off doing this? Should be 23. If I do Enkidu's shield, that's 30. Yeah, I would rather not. I would rather take less damage, thank you. Hold my ground to target me. Holy water. Sight. Compel. We are in a very good spot with this deck, long term, I think. No shot. I immediately draw the compel I just had. That's so rough. I guess we're burning a Devouring Greed, because I need to get a second shield up. I probably didn't need to, but it's fine. I can do a little bit of extra difficulty with this deck, like, if this deck is working as well as it seems to be. Hold my ground. Run, run. Hold my ground. Holy water. We're gonna keep going with an emphasis on setup. Like, I want to burn those, set up an adamantine resolve. Then from there, we're good for a strong next phase. Hold. Oh, it's nearly dead already. What? When did this happen?
Leave us. Return whence you came.
I think this is the strongest position we've ever come out of Act 1 in. No. No. Like, this is a good card? But it's not... No, it's not actually a good card. This is a trick. This effectively costs you 2 cards to get 1 card next turn. I don't think I take any of these. I think I legitimately pass up my rare card reward. Oh. Okay. With Divine Spark, Immaculate Fury becomes a lot more tempting. No, we're not going to do it. It's not worth it. Alright. Time to figure out a new path. We're doing super well, so what we kind of are hoping to do here is we're looking to snowball. So I kind of want to take this right side path. It looks like it has 5 demons on it. Jeez. Because that also gives us the opportunity to take more cards out of our deck. Oh, and we need... You're right, we do need to... We did beat the Act 1 this time. Oh, and that's time again. Okay. So that's going to be it for this stream, unfortunately. We are at midnight. And I'm not trying to... You did win. Thank you guys so much for coming. Everybody, anybody not following who would like to, we would love to see you again next time. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a good night. We're going to be doing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Masochist on Sunday night, starting around 8 p.m. We'll do a brief Marvel Rivals warm-up, and then we will get into the main body of that game. And then, from there, we are going to do at least one more full stream of blueprints. We beat the game last time, but there's many secrets left to uncover. So we're going to do one more full stream of blueprints, and then from there we will probably swap blueprints and Malys. Actually, you know what? No, we will swap. So we're going to do Malys for the Monday stream, and then Blueprints for the Wednesday stream. At this point in Blueprints, we are secret hunting and looking for some various completion objectives. So I would rather have the extra time to focus on this game, which we've been having a lot of fun with. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Masochist on Sunday, Malys Monday, Blueprints Wednesday. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a good rest of your weeks. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.